Welcome back. We're back underway, and no, Niagara's not already winning 2-0, but it is our final match of the day. My name's Time to Late. That over there is the one and only Viking, and it's our final match. What better way to start off than with predictions?
Statistically speaking, Iona definitely has the advantage in terms of what they have seen so far. However, only 2 ranks separate these two teams. Iona currently at 7 and 11 in their map pool, with a round differential of -4, sits in 7th position, where Niagara is still working on getting their first map. They certainly have the opportunity to do so, but Iona making that very difficult, already taking 3 of them off of the board. There goes General Ken and Focus to a very quick end to the opening pistol round. So Iona already up 1-0. Niagara definitely wants to fight and make this their first real attempt. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. Their first proper opportunity for the round opening. I'm gonna give up on that train of thought. Point being, Niagara has done really great work on on Mirage in the past. But Iona already buying up into some of the M4s and rifles is going to try to make this as difficult as possible.
And we will see Private Bean, the only pistol on this CT side. It is a full fake. Oh, actually, a full fake with the bomb going one way and the rest of the team going the other. They're all going to line up for Connor, though, who sees him through the smoke. Oh, he damages him down. Reloads, full rifle, and he will get the frag. The bomb does go down, though, so that's the most important part. I don't think it's really going to matter. Focuses in a 1 versus 3. Actually, it was a 1 versus 4. Almost got that second frag, but it's just not going to happen. Iona will put the second round together. It's not going to cost them all that much. It will cost them a second rifle, to note, but they will have a bonus round up here, and Niagara are going to have a very, very good buy. Focus has an off round 3, where on the other side, it's a Scout, 2 M4s, M4A4s notably, an A1S, and that MP9, so you're looking good if you're Niagara to take this round.
Focus has done some great work with that op in the past when given the opportunity to do so. So really, it's whether or not he can get that. He misses that first shot, which is probably the best opportunity that they were going to get for an early pick. And now we've got those 3 players towards top of mid getting flash and needing to back up, spread out, and put a little bit more pressure towards the B site. What do you think is going to happen? I mean, now that we've got Private Bean pushing inexplicably into apps and leaving the B site open, although Niagara doesn't seem all that keen on working from that information.
What do they have to make of this? Why? That's what I'm making of it. There's no real reason to over-aggress there, especially when you don't have the weapons advantage in the round. You lose one of your rifles, you're in an awful position. Projoy and Flux playing over towards Chair, trying to do whatever he really can. And it's decent mid control here for Niagara, trying to build off of it. That's exactly what they need to do. You could see Connor with one of those 2 remaining rifles, plus a scout. I don't really count that as a rifle, but one of those 2 remaining rifles playing over towards that A side and towards CT. Flashbang up and over top. There is the go sign here for Niagara. But can they work with anything here? 2 dinks, 1 insanity with the second. Pajoyan, though, gets a good shot. It's that 1-for-1 trade in mid, but it's down to just the 1 versus 2 as Focus will remove Connor. It was Red Wolf trying to pull it off, but the scout unable to get focus, who will get the final frag. And Niagara don't allow Iona to convert that bonus, but it costs them a lot of money on the T side.
It did indeed, but any win is a win, right? So you might as well take those numbers as often as you can. And Niagara needing to get, making sure that they don't fall behind. We've seen obviously how once a team starts to pull ahead, it's obviously very difficult to come back, especially if the momentum is not in their favor. So that round going to the side of Niagara is going to give them an opportunity to hopefully capitalize on this light eco buy on the side of Iona. I was a little surprised to have seen Private Bean be so aggressive so early in apartments. I assume that they were assuming they got some of that information from Focus trying to take that early pick on the other side. It's a little confusing how we ended up in this situation, but it doesn't really matter because we're here now, and Niagara is making their presence known on the A site.
Talk about being here. Niagara is more than on the site. They've taken it with control and with conviction at that. Private Bean, the only one to really buy a weapon in this round. And I got a question. What does Iona do here? Because they're not going to have money going to the next round. I think they're going to try and push this. Do their best to just take weapons away. Vector will fall. And so does General Kenobi. Swordbird.
Just keep making it expensive.
It's going to cost them a lot of money here, and there's actually a flank behind them as well. They will not be able to get out of Palace safely at that. Red Wolf dies, but Savannah from behind. No, she gets no scooped. Oh, the 180 no scope. That's going to hurt. There was a 5.7 as well. That's the best pistol to have in that situation, and just doesn't happen.
An early timeout from Iona, I think, is trying to answer the exact question that you posed. It seems like despite the fact that their cash was pretty low, either by miscommunication or early decision, we're going to see some at least one FAMAS and that scout come out on the side of Insanity and Red Wolf. So far, their other teammates haven't purchased. Here they come. So presumably we're going to see Connor and Private Bean do something similar. They don't seem to be buying towards any specific goal. So they're just going out for it and to try to make what they can. I think so far Focus has been the hero on the Niagara side, making a huge impact in those first two rounds that they've won, making sure that there is, a reason for that off presence to be feared.
Iona need this timeout, and I think they're going to do well with it. Being able to discuss whatever the heck they want to do. I don't like the fact that Insanity and Private Bean buy down below 1,000 and everybody else is above 2. That's my one caveat to this situation, because it's a difficult scenario for them to build off of. You cannot build an economy with split buys every single dang round. And when Niagara has everything they could ever want, and sometimes even more, they're going to be able to build up off of this. We will see full AKs, full armor, and full utility on the T side. On the CTs, it's the opposite of all of those. Half utility, half armor, and, well, half of Pedroian Flux's head, who is now dead. Insanity trying to get aggressive as well. Building off of this, will he get a second kill? He does! Building off of it, cannot get the third. That's the one caveat yet again, but a good 2-for-1, now a 3-for-1 trade here for the CT side. That is a good start to a round where they're coming into it in the disadvantage.
Focus able to take one back, but Savannah already up at top mid is there for it. Focus able to take one more down with the op switching into the AK in an attempt to save this round. There are 2 players left on the side of Iona, one of them only with a scout and the other with an MP9 so far. So Focus, depending on the decision that they make going into this next round, which seems to be favoring that A site, has a pretty good shot at it coming away with a victory here, or at least getting pretty close to it. Connor smartly has chosen to put himself in Palace, meaning that it's sort of an unexpected position and certainly one that's pretty difficult to check, assuming that that's the direction that they go. But Focus has decided, I don't really feel like going to that other site, so he's going the other direction, back to B. But will he expect Red Wolf in the kitchen position? It does not look like it.
What are you doing? What?
Are you kidding me?
No, what? What?
That was... I don't know. I assume that he was trying to be cheeky there. Red Wolf just, waiting to get the one tap, but paying for his hubris with his life.
I think that may be the round. He doesn't have Connor doesn't have a kit. He has to hold W here. It's a 1 versus 1. Focus is about to pull off a 4K clutch that really had so many opportunities of being denied. Focus looks the wrong way at the worst time. The spray coming through. This is a questionable one. I'm questioning. He will have time. While he defuses this, I'm pressing tab, so I am going to check the chat here
What?
because I want to figure out what the heck just happened. AFK.
Oh, he has a kit now. Okay.
That's what happened. AFK. Questionable decision, but the defuse comes in nonetheless. Iona will pick up their 3rd round. That was almost bad. That's all I'm gonna say about the situation.
I'm a little disappointed there because Focus had done such a great job, but playing from the site position is just, it's tough when all you really have to do is, get as much time off of that clock as you can. So that was definitely a winnable round that went over to Iona. But that being said, they shouldn't really ended up in that position to begin with. So we see Niagara back to the eco position, all of them with deagles and without head armor. Good choices all around. Savannah sneaking out, sees that, takes out the first one in Focus. Insanity with the second. Oh, and the missed opportunity from the top mid. Ooh, this is carnage.
Bad, to say the least, and well, it's turned from bad to worse. Niagara only getting 1 kill. Savannah the only one to fall, and well, she even got 175 damage off before being sent to the grave. Connor looking good here, and honestly so is the rest of Iona, other than maybe Private Bean, who is yet to frag in this one, but I don't think that it's really been needed. Iona need to win this round, though, and they need to be able to build up off the economy they've been so dearly gifted. Focus, though, gets aggressive and just walks out of A main. Is down to 12 health, though, and actually will fall to Private Bean from that close side. Do they clear him? Yes, but Fechner down to 12 health, and the spray coming through. Savannah with 1. She cannot find the second, at least not quickly enough, but the nade is going to come through and will finish off Swordbird, who Savannah damaged earlier on. Savannah, even with a second assist nonetheless. Insanity flashing himself in. This is going to be a free frag. Detroit not aware of the push. What a flash, by the way. Using the railing of the stairs and allowing themselves to push forward. Iona with a 5th round and a strategic one at that.
It was a little bit of a haphazard execute onto A. It seemed like there might have been a little bit of miscommunication with Focus's aggression in the early part of that round. Because as you saw, there was sort of there was a smoke on stairs, but CT and jungle were still open, and those are obviously pretty critical if you're going to try to take that site successfully. But they have a pretty good showing come out. They get those opening kills, they go around the other one. Missed shot by Connor is going to be followed up to make up for that particular mistake. Private Bean really loves these aggression plays, and this time gets lucky, I guess you could say, in making sure that it goes his direction.
Niagara, this is a round that they're not going to win. I'm an optimist, but I'm also understanding that Iona have more than 2 brain cells, and losing up against full Glocks, I don't think it's going to happen. Fechner, though, actually gets a good shot into Insanity. That's a nice fadeaway shot. It will be an AK, and if I curse this and we see a 1 versus 5 from Fechner, I am going to lose it and probably forced into retirement. I thought Connor was going to try and knife him, but no, it will not happen. Iona, 6th rounds, and that actually just cost them an op. I just want to point that out really, or an AK. They could have picked that up, but instead the op shot pushes it out of the reach of the E-click. Costly.
It happens sometimes. But we come back to the full buy scenario. Both teams at equal strength. Iona with a round advantage 6-2 in the first half of this first map on Mirage. Niagara looking to change it up a little bit, gets more aggressive in apartments, looking to answer with Insanity. Both Insanity and Private Bean have been more aggressive in their particular pulls for it, but Insanity ready with the pixel peak, uses the op to his advantage, and now Niagara goes down by 1, 2. And a half.
Private Bean will fall to Focus, who is dropped, and General Ken will fall just as quickly. The op needs to save them in this round. Oh, the timing. He actually gets the kill anyway. Focus, nice reaction time. Dropping that op down, and Insanity just drops Swordbird with a no-scope. If I had $1 for every no-scope we had thus far today, I'd be able to retire by the end of the week. Unfortunately, I'm not paid per no-scope. Insanity, though, gets aggressive and, well, will get paid based off of that USP. $300 to be exact, as Iona is paid 3,200 on top of it for their round win, coming out on top yet again, and the CT side of Mirage is looking strong for the Gales.
It is indeed. It's somewhere it's a difficult situation to really point out one particular thing that's happening. I mean, we're obviously seeing the aggression from Iona, which is creating some problems, especially as Insanity continues to play around that off. But he might get caught out here. He almost goes down with 15 health remaining. That was an excellent opening pick. Focus trying to get the first one here onto Private Bean, who again tries for that aggressive play up into the scaffolding. So Niagara got options now. They've done a lot of damage. They've got their first pick, and now it's up to them to decide what they're going to do with it.
Savannah pushing up, straight into Pedroian, who doesn't read it properly. No, doesn't get the frag. And look, Snavana's even getting aggressive off of it. Drops to the egg. What are you, Snavana? You good, bro? Not really sure what she's doing, but okay. General Ken, tossing a flashbang over and trying to gain some control here on the A site. A timing shot from Connor in the back line is not going to hit. And it's the full rotate over to A. Unfortunately for the Gales, it's the incorrect full rotate. Actually, wait a second. They're going back to A. Why? You've had no pressure shown on B whatsoever. Oh, jeez.
Well, if they wait long enough, there's at least something there. And I think most critically, you see, I think it's Focus that's moving up into Con right now. So they might be able to catch Redwood out on the stairs, but Connor able to take down two of them. Red Wolf going down into Swordbird there. Swordbird taken out by Insanity. I agree that was possibly a misstep by Niagara to instead of full committing to the other side going back. It's a really tough site with that many people still up and so little utility for a full execute. But you know, they went for it. They were decisive in their actions, and they had a pretty good advantage, or at least a thought process to it. As you saw Swordbird coming up from Connector, they just didn't really have much to answer for the fact that Insanity was doing that quick rotate with the op. This time, Swordbird is able to close out that kill, taking the op off of Insanity. Focus taking out Private Bean once again. This is almost a repeat of the last round, with just, you know, one less op on the board.
Iona having their weaknesses. They are not infallible here on Mirage, but with 8 rounds, they're looking pretty good. They've at least won the half. That's one good start. Niagara, I think Niagara coming into this are really the underdogs. And that's honestly going to go without saying when you're 0-18 through a season, but I think in this position, they really need just wins. And, well, Snavana is going to try and strip those away from them. She has 2 already, looking for a third. No, hits it through the wall. I don't think she cares. She goes for another. We'll hit it. And Focus is left on 29 health. Connor.
Oh, and Connor with this other op.
Wait, they're going back? No way. What?
Oh, but I think Red Wolf is playing from under, and he knows that something's happening. So he's opting to go for the rotate.
He's nodding. He knows.
But Niagara, their pause. Are they actually going for it, or are they going to go for that double fake again?
What are they?
Oh, they're switching nades. Okay. That makes sense. Sure, why not?
There's so little time, though. They're finally going to set up utility. They're going to telegraph this. What is this, the 1800s? In they go. Red Wolf just playing in a perfect position. You kill one player, the round's over. Just then and there, Fechner will be that one player, and Focus in a 1 versus 2. Looking for one, actually does find it. Needs to plant a safe position. In comes the rotate, up from Connor.
Lucky.
Focus is still low, and this is going to be close. Nade is thrown in. The sound cube is there. Connor needs to find this. Iona would be broken in terms of money, but Connor with a deagle out. This is the correct decision. Looking for the frag. Oh! He's been seen. Smoke should be dropped there, and it will be. But the Molotov over top, I don't think it's going to go far enough. The smoke is put through, but not far enough. The fake from Connor. Will it hit? It doesn't matter. Focus with the headshot onto Connor. Pulls out the 1 versus 2 with only 29 health, notably. Saves the op over, and Niagara are given a third round. I thought that one frag coming through would have spelled the conclusion, but no. Unfortunately, Connor a little over-aggressive, and I gotta say, Red Wolf could have played that one a little bit better on the stairs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the end, they obviously have quite a round advantage here still, so it wasn't particularly consequential, but it is a big deal for Niagara to be getting those, and I think Focus played that as well as he possibly could have, and ultimately, you know, giving them that third round.
It was a perfect read, too, by Focus, by the way. How do you read the fact that somebody's rotating through CT and you just plant open towards Connector, A main, Palace, jungle, and seemingly the entirety of North America at that point. Well, the answer is just B
Yeah.
focus. Private Bean, the only player towards this B side. Does Spectre clear him? Oh, no, they don't. It doesn't matter, though. Private Bean only had a deagle, so I don't think it's really going to matter. The push is coming through, though. Vector. Oh, my goodness. Focus. What a shot. Nice.
Just a
flick
monster.
across. Wow. It's got to be safe. There's no way they push this, right?
I mean, if they get that pick, Connor able to take out Fechner. We've got one coming up on Cat. I mean, it's certainly not doable, but Focus continuing to just play that role, smartly putting down the molly on site as his teammates fall around him. He's still got some time, but suddenly this is kind of a winnable situation for Iona now that they have complete control.
No way.
And they're just lining themselves up for it.
No way!
Oh, no.
Connor lines them up, and he has a kid as well. Insanity with the smoke. The early Molotov is going to cost Niagara. And Iona, bring it back. It was a 3 versus 5. I thought they should have saved. They don't care. They keep 2 players alive. They win the round off the back of a collateral from Connor. And that's it. I think that's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Niagara need to win out in the half to have any shot at this. A 9-6 is best case scenario for them, just mathematically. I think best case for them statistically and really probability wise is maybe a 9, a 10-4. I don't even know. Math is hard, and so is winning rounds apparently.
It seems to just be like a lot of miscommunications in terms of post-plant positioning because you can't have that many people in apartments, playing from the same spot. Obviously, the bomb was planted for apartments, but you got to spread out. You got to have pressure coming from different places. Otherwise, you just have those nightmare scenarios like Connor just pulled off. So all they can really do is clean that up and hope for a better outcome. Swordbird at least able to take out Private Bean there. Insanity pushed up so far that the biggest issue that Niagara needs to deal with right now is the fact that Iona is just not respecting those sort of traditional boundaries of aggression. And as a result of that, you're seeing a lot of these kind of demoralizing hits that are just not going in favor of Niagara by any means at all.
I think after that one, demoralizing is an understatement. You get collateraled and no-scoped in back-to-back rounds. That's a painful showing, to say the least. Iona onto double digits. It's taken them little to no time whatsoever. Already with full A control, and it's going to be a B rush. It has to be. They have to hold W here. Flashbang will go over top. It should be full whites on the Iona side, but no. Savannah can see things, and that's already a detriment to this attack. Niagara will get that 1-for-1 trade. Swordbird gets 1. It looks like you can have that flank coming through, but it's not going to matter. Connor gets a second as well with the Molotov coming through. Pedroian walks straight into it, and that should be it, especially with a headshot like that. Connor will clean it out. He actually got dinked by his own teammates. Iona showing up and honestly trying to help out Niagara, shooting their own teammates a little bit more than the Niagara side is.
Iona now sits with a pretty comfortable round cushion, a very comfortable one at that. So Niagara, like you said, they really have to win out, at least to the best of their ability, to make sure that they're positioned to give them some kind of chance going over the CT side. The good news is the CT side tends to be more comfortable and therefore certainly gives them a better chance at bringing back to whatever they possibly can make out of this. And that's really just what they have to do.
Private Bean already doing over 110 damage, and while it's only been 30 seconds, that shot, if it was, oh my, I'm done.
What?
I'm done. You have fun. You can solo cast this one. I'm done. I'm walking away.
Flux able to win over Savannah in middle gives them just the slightest hint, but Red Wolf already pushing from under. They have so much map control. Fechner ultimately losing out the rest of his health to what he originally lost from Private Bean. Connor just all over the map, taking these op shots from everywhere. It's just been an absolute monster, and unfortunately Niagara just has not found an answer to that. However, I may have spoken too soon because Focus and Flux, as I say that, find their respective kills. And so now Red Wolf and Insanity are going to be the difference. Looking the wrong way, unfortunately, gives them the wrong time.
Herd of elephants walking down mid. all the sound cues in the world apparently were given over. Petroyan decides, I'm going to let the entirety of the collegiate scene know I'm running towards connector. Iona capitalize off of it. It's a double kill in the end as Insanity goes insane, living up to his name, and it's Iona. If they win this pistol round, they're going to be up onto 13. I think that may very well do it. Best case scenario here, Niagara do a lot of damage just to the team morale of Iona because I don't think they're going to win this. I don't think they're going to win this map. Overpass is their best case here, and they need a map win in this season at some point because you can see teams just are not respecting them because Iona just ran down mid with Glocks. Wow.
I mean, you see that some relatively common aggression, so I'm not going to fault them for that at all. What they're going for the sort of like reverse around the world, I guess, and that has pulled Niagara. I mean, I'm not sure that I would know how to respond to that either because they're just running train literally around the map. So Focus able to take out Connor, which is going to be a good start to that. Fechner taking out Insanity. That's going to even things up, give Niagara the slight advantage despite the early pick. So now they just have to find people on site like Focus is doing. Do they realize that Savannah's behind them? What a shot! A double kill, a triple kill from Savannah.
It would have been the ace. It would have been the ace. The conga line around mid, through underpass, back through the T apps, and then back through mid again. Yeah, it's just not going to happen.
Sorry, I was listening, but I was also looking at just the fancy gold snakes.
I don't have those. I'm going to look up what those are. But Niagara,
Good one.
it was a good round. I'll give him that. This is an Iona timeout, by the way. T-side called it. But that was so close. Savannah, if you aced that, I would have lost it. 3 kills on the A side, the 4th in the connector. The conga line around, though. I think that is the greatest strat I have seen in EGF so far.
I think we've seen it maybe once or twice from Iona before. It is something that I really like, especially when you are kind of feeling yourself, right? It's a good opening round strategy because, as we saw, it's really successful in pulling people into kind of weird off-angle positions because you don't know what the hell is going on. But it ended up working out really well in Niagara favors. So despite the fact that it's 12-4, Niagara's got a little bit of momentum behind them. They're obviously bought up into it, but Iona has chosen to respond because obviously they got the bond plan with their own buy. So now it's really a matter of who is able to be successful here because whoever comes out as the victor will likely see at least another round, if not 2, where they should see a pretty easy time in racking those up.
Niagara need to build off of this, and they need to do so relatively quickly and efficiently, but just holding W out of A. Red Wolf already in a good position, trying to build off of this. Mac 10 in hand, trying to play behind that triple position is Pedroyan Flux with just an MP9. Fechner's dead. Pedroyan Flux soon to follow. It's 2 openers, the way of the team with just SMGs and a Deagle. That's all they came into this with. That's maybe all they will walk out of it with. Savannah, though, in a good position. Takes away the M4, and they've now split this defense, and now it's just down to Focus. 1 versus 3. We've seen clutches from Focus before. It would have to be a 4K. It would have to be really, really clean to clean things out. But Savannah's planning open. I think he could see her from there. He can. She will fall. Red Wolf, no! Mac 10. Focus has 16 health. Both of them are 1-tap from various weapons. Focus in a good position. 2 taps Red Wolf down. Savannah. Oh, no. You knew he was CT. Why do you plant open, and why do you not cover yourself from CT? You can plant there and not be visible. She didn't, and, well, she was. Iona, I think they gave that round away. You had a 1 versus 3, and yet you run around like chickens with your heads cut off.
That is the best case scenario, I think, for Niagara. But despite that, because of the second bomb plant, Iona is able to buy up yet again. And in a cruel twist of fate, Niagara is actually at a disadvantage in terms of their overall equipment, especially because Connor, now both with the head armor and utility, has the off still. So Niagara has to do everything in their power. But Savannah just tippy-tapping her way into CT is going to make that difficult. Connor coming out from Palace just... Oh, this is all going wrong for Niagara. That is, after such an intense round and such a big fight for that last round, it's heartbreaking.
Wow. what a finishing shot, too. Connor cleaning it out, and Iona really capitalizing off of the misplays from Niagara. I wouldn't even call them misplays all the time. It's just they had the better weaponry. And you were talking about cruel twist of fate. Iona were able to buy in that round. They got kills, got the bomb plant, and because of it, along with, of course, the loss bonus, they were able to buy even more in that. And this is just so painful for Niagara to put anything together. They're just rushing up mid. They're holding W through. It's going to cost them all their lives. Insanity, Private B, and Insanity twice more. And Connor, with the op, helps clean it all out. Insanity gets knifed by his teammate twice. And Iona, just 2 away from cleaning out Mirage.
This is really a worst case, well, almost worst case scenario, I should say, for the side of Niagara, because they're forced to buy into this because obviously, you know, if you go to 15, you're facing game point until you lose. And that obviously is not the position that they want to be in. But in order to prevent that, they have to buy the best they can. And unfortunately, that's just not a great situation, a great buy opportunity. So once again, Iona is going for this. Connor gets the opening pick coming out of Palace, and unfortunately it's Focus, who's been such a cornerstone of Niagara's defense when it's there. Not able to pull much out of it, and Iona continue to just roll over Niagara as they go for this round 15 win.
Single frag is all that Niagara. Yeah. A single frag is all that Niagara walk out of that round with, and, well, they drop the round with it. The Gales on 15, and with now 10 map points in their favor. I don't think it's even going to take them that long. They have an up, they have 4 AKs, and they have everything they could ever want along with it. Full utility and full armor. On the other side, Niagara's hard-pressed to buy SMGs, much less full rifles. Focus does 6 damage through a wall. That's a good start. Savannah's down to 7. This is even better. As Savannah now falls, Swordbird will fall in tandem, and, well, Focus is dead as well. That's not the opening that you want, as the entirety of Iona already has the B side. It's Fechner and General Kenobi in a 2 versus 4. MP9s for each, but I don't even think they're going to get those off.
It does unfortunately appear to be the case, and Iona, tasting or smelling that blood in the water, is just continuing that hunt, trying to find General Ken, who obviously, with the game on the line, it has no choice but to go for it. Connor, with his knife out, is going to go for that sort of cheeky push. He knows where he is. He's looking for that mistake.
Ken's running away.
Yeah, why not? I mean, you can get a little bit of stat padding here, but unfortunately, that is the end of the round and the end of the game in favor of Iona, taking it with a 16-5 scoreline. So that is not the opening that Niagara was hoping to go through, but we do still have one more map on the slate for this evening.
Overpass is that map, and Iona, it is their map pick. Niagara only got 5 total rounds through 21 rounds of play here on Mirage. Going into your opponent's map pick, I'd be hard-pressed to find any more than that. But, well, we'll have to question it, and we'll get the answers to it just a little bit later. If you're wondering where the heck we're going straight to Overpass, but quickly, we're going to a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. It's our final map of the night is Iona take on Niagara, this time over on Overpass. Hence, well, the reference there. Iona, in this case, it is their map pick, and they're in a good position because of it. I gotta say, Tyler, I'm not liking Niagara's chances.
I think we saw some good and some bad things from Niagara. One, the obvious bright point for the for their team was Focus. He was not only their top fragger, but he had some really brilliant plays that certainly would inspire me if I was one of his teammates. However, that was not true for the rest of the team as they continued to execute. And as we pointed out a few times, there were just a couple critical mistakes that cost them some rounds that could have gone the other way. Whether or not that would have made a difference in the decision of the ultimate outcome, it's hard to say. But certainly Iona is feeling pretty good about that. This is their map pick, and historically they've done pretty well when they have chosen this. While on the other hand, Niagara has not performed particularly well with their best performance being a 4-16 map score line. So obviously they're playing for the win, but if they can hit 5 or more rounds, then that's certainly a new benchmark for them. So trying to find the positive in whatever situation they are, they're going to meet this aggression from Iona, and ultimately with Swordbird coming out taking the first one.
What? How does Pejorative Flux stay alive there? That's going to be a Iona loss because of it. The smoke towards heaven is late. In comes this push, and it should be Private Bean falling. He will. The dualies won't save him. Wow. I think that just comes down to missed shots.
A little bit, yeah.
Burst fire doesn't work.
No. I don't know if that was a little bit of hubris on the side of Iona or if they just kind of lost track of what they were trying to accomplish as they pushed onto that site. But like you said, A couple missed shots and a couple just, kind of uncertain plays put them in a position to have taken that loss. However, very similar to the first half of the last round, despite that loss, Iona has bought into this. They're going to be very light on utility, but they do have the Galil's, SMGs, and a scout. So they're going to come, and hopefully Niagara is prepared for this. They've obviously seen it before. Focus popping out, taking out Private Bean is going to be a great way to open up this round.
Niagara on the CT side, they're looking good here, at least so far. Fechner, nice opening shots. Oh, he's being pincered, but it doesn't matter. Focus from behind. There's one. It is a 2-for-4 trade, or 2-for-3 trade, my apologies. Iona in an awful position. I'm not gonna lie to you, and I think that's really one of the first times we've said that thus far today. In comes his push. Focus just holds W. Connor still hits one shot. Looks for a second. Cannot get it. Niagara will put 2 in a row up on that scoreboard. Iona, it's time for a buy, and they really don't have the money. They decided to force it up last time, and just didn't work.
That was an excellent execution on the side of Niagara there. They were able to take on, obviously, the aggression from Iona and make something great out of it. So they're obviously up 2 rounds right now. That's a good start to it. They'll hopefully be able to capitalize to get this third now that Iona is basically down to nothing. But Iona going for that full aggression, just that Molly missing a little bit might be a real bad start as Private Bean gets the opening kill. Swordbird able to answer. There's a person still alive on water, but not for long.
This is a 3 versus 3, by the way. They walked into this with pistols. I just want to make that known. Smoke towards the entrance and towards Hell. Swordbird gets 1. He doesn't care about that smoke, and they're just going to push off of this. There are 2 players over towards that boost position. Oh, the Molotov's going to force him out. That's it. I think that's the round right there.
Oh, no.
And they run away. The shots are going to come through. Savannah will not get that shot with the P250, and Focus will finish off Insanity.
Oh, no.
Niagara
That was a
third.
huge misplay by Insanity, too, because he didn't get the post-plant, or sorry, he didn't get the, or he died after time. I mean, he's still able to buy, but...
No, it's
not the same for
fine.
returners?
No,
Oh, you're right.
The T side,
Right.
as long as they plant the
Got the
bomb,
down.
then they're okay. You only have to die after time if you lose because of time. Not the end of the world.
That means, well, in any case, that means that we are going to see the first gun round focus being aggressive. Almost paid off, but didn't really do much to keep him alive. Fechner able to answer for that is a good thing.
Ooh, Insanity there as well. Takes out General Ken. And I cast a European Women's League every Sunday. I've noticed that women predominantly play the Krieg. Do you know that? A little bit more than the AK.
Sure. I mean, that certainly was a pretty successful meta, and it's still, to be fair, an exceptionally powerful weapon, albeit a little bit more expensive than it was. Flux doing a great job to lock it down, making it a 3v3, but there's still an Alpha Krieg and an AK that has something to say about the end of this round.
Their flank. Connor is flanking with an op instead of pushing with the rest of his team, locking down the long position, and it's going to cost him the round. They're aware of the flank as well. This round is done and dusted. That's a questionable decision for me. Iona.
I don't know if they are aware of it. Well, they are now, but
yeah.
I don't know. We've seen Connor do some pretty nutty things with this op. I'm a little nervous to say that this is over.
Shot isn't hit. He's still alive though. This is still possible. Op in hand, 15. Nah, he's got 15 seconds. He's gonna save it. I think this is where you need to make sure you don't die after time. I don't think he will. He's not getting pressured or anything. Smoke will be dropped to make sure he does get out alive. 5 seconds. This is over. Strong hold from Niagara. They're up to 4 rounds. They have matched their previous best on Overpass. Look at that.
And convincingly too. Oh dear.
What?
That's not something that you would hope to see. I mean, I guess that it makes sense that they're going to try to go for that op because Connor has just been an absolute menace using that rifle when they saw him on a Mirage. So any chance you can get it away from him is one I would say is probably worth taking.
I think here Iona need to call a timeout and just need to take a second. And, well, they've called the timeout. Now they're taking about 45 more seconds. I think with a full buy, they're in a good position. Connor will still have that op. That's the most notable part about it. But Connor does not have that loss bonus. That's the most important part of it. I think Niagara are in a good spot. They can continue to build up off of what they've already built. General Ken, the only one without head armor in this one. It's not really going to matter. Nobody has a Galil or anything worse than it. So headshots are going to be insta-kills, no matter the weapon on the Iona side, as long as nobody whips out a Glock. But I'm happy with the way Niagara's been playing so far. They've been playing proactive, and they've not allowed Iona any more room than Iona has earned. And Iona really hasn't been given a lot of real estate, nor earned a lot at that same point. Niagara playing a lot better already than what we saw in the entirety of Mirage, and it's only been 1/5 as many rounds.
Incredibly true. And other than a couple points where they may have overextended, just a little bit, they've done a really good job of working together as a team, locking down sites when there's, a potential for danger, and ultimately, hitting it where it counts. I think is the most important thing. And Beckner, you're making a huge difference. Almost had a chance to take down 2, but he's going to open that up at focus. Getting the second one and wisely getting out of there, understanding that there's going to be a T coming up from the connector side, repositioning. This is off to a pretty good start for Niagara.
This is looking like one of those Niagara maps where they really have one highlight player. And I think in this case it's 2. It's really Swordbird and Focus popping off, both here and really on Mirage, just the same. Focus wielding the op is going to be in a pivotal position to really shut down the entirety of the A site. You can see exactly with shots like that. Thank you very much. Focus looking for more. Smoke over top misses. That's going to be a detriment to this A push because, well, there's a second player here. Swordbird could just push in front of where that smoke would have been. Follow up Molotov towards the bathroom exit. And this is a very difficult push here. General Ken locking down the underpass position. On overpass, that is a challenging one to lock down, but you can see there's no rotate here for Iona. They're just going to push straight to the op. The shadow will give away your position. It's a 1 versus 4 for the Red Wolf. This one is over. The AK should be lost. It's just a matter of how quickly it will be. There's one frag. Looking for a second. Oh, sees him. There's a second frag. He can clutch this. Wait a dang second. Bomb will be... No, he's planting it open. If you don't fake that, you get a free bomb plant, and then you can turn around. I think that may have just cost him the round. He's going to try and plant it towards truck. The swing should come in here from Ken. Will he swing towards truck? Yes, he will. That will spell the end there for Red Wolf, who could have gotten the plant. Will not in the end, but I got a question. What happens if you don't fake that?
It really kind of depends on how aggressive Niagara chose to be with that pincer. I mean, obviously there is a little bit of lag time coming from the B site, but in bathrooms, a good swing in there with the right timing could have worked out. And the way things are going for Niagara so far, I have no reason to believe that wouldn't have gone in their favor. But I think you're right that it definitely gives Iona a much better chance, and Red Wolf specifically, of coming away from a victory, as opposed to there, when you've only got 12 seconds left to go through the fake and ultimately the reattempt. It's just not the right. It's an attempt, but not the right one.
No, and they're going to attempt onto this B side. So far, it's not the worst thing in the world. Nade does go too far and will not hit. Shots over top. Swordbird does get it onto Insanity. This is a way back into it, but Private Bean getting aggressive towards Hell does find one frag. Looks for another after repositioning, but there's a swing around. I don't think he realizes it. Nade over top. That does some damage, and well, so does the big green gun. This time it has some veins on it, and it's down to just Pedroyan in a 1 versus 3. Finds the first one. Cannot find the second, though. Iona put their first round on the board. Niagara already surpassing their previous best showing here on Overpass. A good start for Niagara, lackluster for Iona, but I think they're a little bit more of a CT-sided squad.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that entirely. And again, we have to give a lot of credit to Niagara here. They've done a really good job of staying pretty disciplined across the map. A couple minor mistakes, but nothing obviously that's been particularly costly. I think in that case, Iona's aggression just was a little overwhelming, and ultimately put them obviously in the position to take that victory. But now they're hesitating, and that is a huge chunk of health out of the Iona team. Swordbird with an MP5 of all things, able to get that first one. Unfortunately, Swordbird losing his life to a molly is not the direction that they wanted to go, but there are still 3 CTs, all with M4s alive. That single peek, oh, that is a huge mistake. But Connor with the misses that shot. Oh, this is dangerous.
Connor's gonna try and get aggressive, needs to play around the side, and needs to look down. Nobody is up above. Smoke dropped to create some space, but unfortunately it's created space for the CTs as well. This needs to be just an angular clutch. Sees him, gets the shot as well. Plays that one way to perfection. And is now down to General Ken. In a 1 versus 1, Connor could clutch this with a 4K, but has no idea where Ken is. Needs to peek around, and needs to play aggressive. Needs to swing quickly with the op. Has low HP, but no switches to the M4. You're low, you need to play with that op. If you plant here, you die. If you don't swing, you die. I think that may just be it. Ken looks to get aggressive and swings around perfectly. That's the round for Niagara. A little bit of a misplay, but Connor does some damage to the economy of this CT side nonetheless.
I loved that round. That was just a really nice execution to see on both sides. Obviously, some bright points for both teams there. And Niagara, again, in a much more convincing fashion, has just continued to come up with round wins. And that has been huge because you can see it a little bit in the way that Iona is responding now. They're just they're missing a little bit. Like the mental is not quite where it needs to be to close this out. Great shot from Flux there onto Red Wolf. He's going to open this in favor of them. Focus able to take the second one. They're feeling that B pressure. Oh, the attempted 360 doesn't go anywhere as Ken shuts down Connor. And this is going to put Iona in a very, very uncomfortable position looking at this next round, too.
Did Niagara just sub out the entire team? Are we seeing a different squad? This looks like a completely different team. Never mind. Snavana shuts him down. There's 3 frags, all on the B site. The swing from Focus. No, he gets the kill. What are you doing? Oh, no, Snavana falls as well. Private being in a perfect position to shut down that flank. But it costs Iona the round. It could have been. But woulda, coulda, shoulda, it was not. Snavana, even with that 3K, quadrupling her total kills on this map. Just not to be. Niagara with the Brazil early on here in Overpass.
So far, a notable difference to the last one. Oh boy, this... How does Connor keep getting these offs?
I swear, he's cheating. He's got to be cheating. If he didn't have face-it anti-cheat on, I think he's cheating.
Yeah, he's certainly pretty nutty on that. But I mean, just affording the ops on a continuous basis. I mean, I know that they're not buying utility up around it, but man, he's had an op pretty much every round since the 5th round, maybe. So there's a lot of team camaraderie going and getting something into his hands. But what I wanted to note earlier, as General Ken is working on this flank, is that notably for Niagara, and a difference to the last game, there's a much bigger distribution of kills across the entire Niagara team. Savannah stepping up and just making an absolute example out of 2 players from the Niagara side is just going to leave General Ken, who's on that flank.
Ken shut down the 1 versus 3 clutch before. Can he be the protagonist in it? I think he slipped under it. Wait a dang second. Ken's getting aggressive here. I don't think it's going to matter, though. He does find one. Connor, though, will get the kill. Iona pick up their 2nd round. It took them a little while to do so, but 2 rounds nonetheless. And Niagara, they need to win this round. No, they can't. They don't have money. They're broke. They win 7 of 9 rounds and still have no cash left over. Wowza.
Well, I think that speaks to the impact of how important it is to not only win the rounds, but survive them. And by that, I mean having more than, just a single player. And the reality of the wins that they've had has been kind of that 50-50 with 1 or 2 people left on the side of Niagara. So they haven't been able to carry over those rifles. And given just how expensive it is to play on the CT side, they're just in a much better position. But Niagara coming out, doing a pretty good job, unfortunately missing some key shots there. Focus is, if not for Red Wolf on the flank there, Focus could have single-handedly made the difference in that round. Ken just missing slightly.
Snavana, to clean it out as well, this is exactly what we were expecting from Iona. It's clean, it's clinical, it's team cohesion that we really missed in the really first 9 rounds. There, in round number 10, as the numbers flip to double digits, Iona looked to do the same as... I'm looking to see Iona just play aggressive here. It is the T side, in all fairness. That is kind of the name of the game, but they need to play with a lot more speed than they have, because holding W is going to get you very far, hopefully into round wins, at least for them, but look at Niagara just holding W, and they take the bomb away. They get a second kill as well. Oh, no way this is how this turns out, right? No dang way.
This is a really strong defensive position if they don't keep giving them kills like that. So the bomb has escaped from them, unfortunately, and they just keep lining up in that tunnel and creating just, you know, the best possible shooting lane for Iona. So while they did an excellent job early in that round to take away those guns, it's entirely on them that they didn't, for their own good, stop peaking.
Ken in another 1-3, not even getting up one this time. Iona onto 4. Ken is shut down. Insanity goes insane yet again, this time with 3 frags, albeit it was an anti-eco, one that cost them 2 rifles. That's not great for the economy of Iona, but they should still be able to build it relatively decently. 3 players staying alive is always good. You want to have 3, 4, or 5 players staying alive in order to start building an economy. It will be weakened if you have 2, 1, or, of course, 0. It's going to hurt, but I think Niagara now can break the economy of Iona. In comes this push, they're just holding W. I was talking about playing aggressive. That's exactly why. You can just get some free frags. Red Wolf with 1. Cannot get the second. Flashbang over top. Oh, no. Ken gets a free frag. Red Wolf couldn't see a dang thing other than the whites of his eyes. Savannah does push through, though, and that is a kill back the other way. Oh, what are you looking at? Swordbird, you peeked her, yet didn't continue to look.
Still winnable for Niagara here. It would be a little bit more helpful if they had more utility, but unfortunately, Fechner's only got that molly to really do damage. But if he can land that anywhere near Insanity or Savannah, that is a big chunk of potential damage. Of Savannah with that op susses out that Fechner is there, goes for the second, misses, but Focus able to make it just a little bit more uncomfortable.
Why are they getting aggressive here?
This is winnable.
Wait a second. Where's Private Bean? He has a kit. Bean, no way. No way you throw this away. The knife, is it gonna hit? Yes, it will.
Jesus.
Oh my goodness.
That was
my heart.
far
I
too
cannot
close for
take
comfort.
Iona, you cannot do that to me. Please and thank you. Don't do that again. 5 rounds for Iona, by the way, but that was a labored one. Everybody dies, and I was talking about keeping players alive. When you have 0, everybody's going to have to reinvest everything. But we'll see how that return on investment goes. Niagara, I think in this case, just need to play aggressive back the other way, and will hopefully not lose focus, as focus will fall first.
Oh, no. Niagara is in danger here because now after going up 7-1, they have given up now 4 rounds in a row, which is, of course, not the way that they want to. Part of that has just been the increased aggression on the side of Iona, pulling off some, pretty straightforward pushes that Niagara just, hasn't so far had an answer to.
They're just shooting Private Bean down. He's on 8 HP after that. But Joyan can now one-shot him. Looking to get aggressive with his MP9. Well, he fully sprays down Connor. The upshot misses. So Nevada's going to get aggressive off of this. This could cost them some money on the Iona side. There are only 3 rounds left in the half, including this one. The up, however, will be picked up, and it's down to a 1-4. I feel like Ken has a theme of just getting stuck in clutch situations and getting a frag or 2 off of them. I think he should get a free kill. Oh, no way they'd clear this. Okay, yeah, they don't. Ken, get the frag, please and thank you. There's the information, though. The suppressed weapon should not give away all that much. Savannah should stay alive. We'll do just that. They take away the M4. The foot scene. It's not going to matter, though.
All right, Ken doing a good job of avoiding death there. A little bit worried as we closed out that round.
It's close to being bad. That's what that was. But it's not in the end. M4 will be saved over, and Niagara here are going to fully invest. They will have max loss bonus, so $3,400 at least per player, plus whatever you have saved over into this round in terms of your bank account. Iona, though, need to win this. They cannot afford to lose it, and they're not going to have the cash to do so. There's the 1-for-1 trade. Focus gets 1. Savannah brings it right back, and honestly, Focus and Savannah have been those 2 main fighters in the squad. Focus, I think, is a little bit more important than to Niagara because, well, he's now dead. Savannah, however, very much still in this one.
Yeah, that is pretty significant there.
Oh no. Swordbird, what are you looking at? Oh no. What is... Pedroia just holds W and dies quickly. General Ken in another one versus... Can I just highlight the fact that this is now Ken's 5th clutch scenario in 14 rounds?
I don't have a lot of faith in that actually coming through. Nothing against Ken, but with the amount of health that he has in Private Bean and Snivana still diligently looking for any reason to pull that trigger. No thanks. But Ken is able to walk away with the AK, but the money on his team is not going to be great. Although they do have full loss bonus now, so if they choose to, which they should, going into the 15th round, they'll be able to get a reasonable buy cobbled together.
Yeah, what? Okay. Well, moving on.
I guess
Savannah has money.
they've got cash, but that was definitely an unnecessary death. I suppose it doesn't matter with the cash that they have, but Niagara University coming together to cobble what they can in terms of a defensive weaponry. They are trying to find one round to sort of break the tide that Iona has come in, but Red Wolf running directly out onto site. Niagara not quite ready for that aggression, but luckily is able to survive that, puts down the molly and the flash and forces Iona out of their original plan for aggression. But here they are, not afraid at all, going for that second attempt. Flux able to take down the bomb from short. That is the first of 5.
What? How does Insanity lose that? I mean, yeah, there's 2 players there, but still, you gotta at least kill one of them. It just does not happen. Flashbang over top of Red Wolf goes zinging by his head. What a swing from Private Bean to get his 2nd on the round. It's down to him and Red Wolf. Fechner and Focus looking to play aggressive here from behind, clearing the flank. Oh no, Red Wolf wasn't looking high enough. It's down to Private Bean in a 1 versus 2. Only has an MP7, has not switched out for a rifle. Focus is low, and that sound cue should give away the fact that both players are pushing from this short position. Private Bean locking down the angle, will find one. Can he find the second? He swings, he gets the kill as well. Pulls off the clutch. Iona go from 7-1 down in the Brazil to taking it 8-7 on the half.
That's a tough loss there. That double effort from Fechner and Focus definitely felt like it should have gone the other direction. But if you're not expecting the swing, the reaction is just sometimes just tough to pull off. So Niagara is going to come into this with their best performance on this map so far this season, but still at a 1-round deficit to Iona, who's now on the CT side. So now it's up to Niagara to determine what the speed of this is going to be. They're immediately making that con aggression known. They're coming through it. Getting 1 for 3 trade, not great.
Yeah, and it's Niagara. And, well, it was Flux in a 1 versus 4. Just did not happen. Iona picking up 9 here in 8 in a row. This is not good, to say the least. It is going to be a full save for Niagara. They got very few kills in that one to be specific, and no bomb plant. $2,050 per player. Focus, the only one below that, on $2,000. There's no way you could justify a buy here, and they're not even going to try to. Connor's just going to mow them down, and you can see exactly why. Insanity down below gets 2 of his own. It's Focus in a 1 versus 5 with a P250. All to write home about, and didn't even get a kill. Iona on to double digits first. After going down 7, I just want to point that out again. They were down 7-1. It's absurd.
It is. And Iona has now seemed to have found all the beats that they needed in order to confidently execute on the same type of aggression that they had before in Mirage. Nevada trying to shut down with that P90. The peek out from Connector is going to shut down all hopes of aggression from Niagara. So unfortunately for them, they are back to a position where they just have to hope that Iona over-rotates so they can get a few easy kills at it. But Red Wolf already on the flank is going to shut that down. And unfortunately for Niagara, their first attempt at a buy this half goes down as a victory for Iona.
They got really nothing out of it, too. That's the most painful thing about it. Iona were able to relatively simply bonus that one out. It didn't cost them a lot of money, and it had to for Niagara. This is a... Oh, no. Miscommunication. Feknir buys down to nothing. Mac 10, full armor, utility across the board. Nobody else has anything. Focus, though, hits a nice shot mid. That's exactly what you need to bring yourself back into a half. And try it, and, well, Savannah just doesn't care. Feknir is now dropped. Swordbird down to 4 health. This is a painful round for Niagara. Everything they bought is now down. The AK's picked up by Swordbird, but it's now a 2 versus 4. Nobody has armor. Focus does have that AK, though. So, the effectiveness is there. Unfortunately, the focus is not. Iona up onto 12.
It is unfortunate, but there's still no immediate end to this, of course, because there's still enough rounds for Niagara to come back into it. Obviously, they're purchasing here. They're going to be able to kind of rethink some of that strategy still and put their best foot forward. And even if they lose this, they do have just enough cash in the bank where they'll be able to put sort of like a last-ditch effort into pulling it back. And the round sub difference is not huge, but Insanity pops out, gets 2 headshots onto Niagara, and just makes that just an incredibly unlucky aggression point.
Connor, spring. No, it doesn't matter. Insanity just pops Pedroian and Flux his head off. And it's Focus in a 1 versus 3. Up in hand, though. Hits 1, but does not look at Insanity. Insanity was looking at him and hits an insane shot at that. 13 for Iona. You know, I didn't want to say it when Iona had 3 rounds, but I had a small feeling that they may get 16-7'd on the Niagara side. If they live up to that, I'm going to be really upset.
It is unfortunate, but what are you going to do? I think that Niagara is finding some beginnings, and Connor making an uncharacteristic miss gives Ken a second shot at life. Unfortunately, that second shot results in death. So once again, Niagara finds themselves at a deficit down early in the round with Iona feeling the momentum. So really comes back to Focus here to get that first kill. Private Bean goes down at long, which gives them just a little bit of hope, but Savannah creeping around bathrooms with some backup could spell disaster for Niagara as they continue this push towards A.
Savannah has 18 kills, by the way. Insanity onto 19, and Connor onto 20. Talk about team consistency. Unfortunately, as soon as I say her name, she will die. Connor, though, on a flank. I said his name. He doesn't die, so it wasn't a full caster's curse, at least. Pedroian trying to flank back around the flanker. Getting aggressive, and oh, no. Connor did not expect Pedroian to just be sitting there. And, well, I don't know why. It is on the T side of the map. Nonetheless, it's a 2 versus 2. Insanity with 15 health. Red Wolf with 100 with the op. They really should switch, by the way. Especially because I've seen Insanity op before. It's kind of insane. Pedroian and Focus, though, they have a combined 61 HP. It's not great for them.
You're absolutely correct. That being said, with just those 2 players alive, I'm just kidding. Insanity pulls off just a wide peak for Flux, meaning that Focus is the only chance that Niagara has left in this round, and he's just going to go for the site. The missed shot, however, I can't believe that opportunity was even there, and Focus is where he goes for it, and against all odds, Focus able to pull that back, taking out that 2K clutch and the op.
Iona,
that was an impressive showing.
Iona, if you're listening to this, give Insanity the op.
So there's 3 different reasons you should give Insanity the op. Number 1, Insanity had less HP, so if he makes a mistake, it's going to cost him his life anyway. Red Wolf can miss 1 shot with a rifle and still stay alive with 100 HP. Number 2, Insanity's a little bit better with the op. Just a factual statement. Really, we haven't seen Red Wolf perform like that thus far. And number 3, because I said so. And, well, unfortunately, Iona doesn't, and well, it costs them the round. They're still up under 13, though. The 16-7 will not come through. Niagara do put 8 on the board. But they need to find, if my math serves me correctly, a lot of rounds over the next few. 8 of the following 9, and including this round. Iona only needs 3.
That is correct. Very, very good math. Very proud of you. Those math classes are really paying off.
Oh, you know it.
I don't know if he meant to put that Molly down there, but it doesn't really matter because Insanity able to get 2 of them, Focus able to come back out with the op in this 1v3. He is probably the player who would want that net no scope onto Snavana. Makes a statement, but is he where everyone else is? The pressure from Iona is just too much for Focus to put all on his back. So Iona goes up to 14th round, and Niagara putting up a much more impressive showing than in their first outing on Mirage, is still just 2 rounds away from elimination.
I would still say this is a good showing from Niagara, though. Contrary to the fact that they're losing by 6 rounds and honestly not looking good in terms of having money in their pockets, they're still in a decent position. I'm not going to say it's great, considering they're still losing, but compared to what we've seen thus far this season, they're looking pretty good. Nevada's going to get aggressive around long, and they're not going to clear her. Oh, she's going to... There's one. Looking for a second. She swings. Can't find the second, but too far away. Doesn't spray far enough, and she gets swung close range. The SMG, just a little bit better. It's going to cost her life. Iona, still with the man advantage now, is Insanity. Like I said, goes insane. 3 frags on a flank, and, well, just threads the needle as Swordbird is now in a 1 versus 2. Connor has the up this time. On low HP. I want to point that out. Connor has the op on low HP. Please do that in all of your matchmaking games, face-it games, whatever. Give the low HP player the op. Red Wolf can make a single shot mistake and still stay alive. Swordbird, however, cannot, and on 12 HP. Oh no, they are playing back-to-back. Look at them. Oh my gosh. What the...
He's got time to run to B, so this is a nightmare scenario for Connor. He is obviously been a huge impact player specifically because of his opping ability, but that isn't going to matter if he ends up on the wrong site. So you have Swordbird running all the way back to the B bomb site. That flash is going to make Connor aware of that, so he's... Oh no. If Swordbird doesn't round this corner in time, then he's going to get caught out in the heaven area.
The nade.
No.
That's
No!
That's it! Oh my gosh, the nade. Connor plays it perfectly. Reading it, understanding, hey, I don't have to take an errant shot that I have a 1 in 15 shot of hitting onto somebody I don't even know if I'm going to leg or not. I don't know about their health. I do think that there should have been information about their HP. This is, of course, Face It, so you don't get information as to how much damage you've done until after the round concludes, as you do now in Prime matchmaking. But it's a challenging situation for Niagara. They need 7 in a row. Iona, my apologies, only need 1 out of the following 7. Focus does get an opening frag onto Savannah, and Insanity drops as well. So a decent start, but oh no, Focus is dead. Focus is on 31 kills, by the way, in a round that they're losing, or in a map they're losing by 7. And Private Bean, if he swings this and peeks right, he will find the bomb. That's the most important part. The flank's coming through, the flank to the flank, and, well, the bomb's dropped again. Private Bean has all the information required, and there should be a rotate with that. Red Wolf, what?
No.
Headphones? Fechner? What? Even I heard him.
This is just all the worst possible timing for Niagara, and now Swordbird has the only chance of this coming true. He is able to get the first, maybe the second. Oh no, it's Connor with...
Wait! No. Connor just made noise. Why do you make... You have a flank and you miss the smoke. Oh my gosh. This is possible. Unfortunately for Swordbird, he now has to push through a smoke. Flashbang will go over top. That's about as ineffective as it gets because, well, you're not pushing it. Another flash through. Connor's going to reposition. And, oh no, has a one... Don't... Just use your gun! He just walked through. Finally, he's going to knife him. No, I'm done. I'm done.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Connor tries the knife after looking straight at it one way and thinking, I'm going to try and flash it. It kind of works. I'll give him that. But the knife just does not hit. You have to knife their back, by the way, and right-click. But Iona still have 15 rounds. They do still have 6 match points. But, wow. That's all I have to say.
You know, I'm going to say that it's entirely possible that Niagara just rolls through this and continues that momentum now. That was such a huge error by Connor there, just entirely out of hubris. Completely unnecessary. Should have ended the game there, but instead opts to be a little bit more showy. and gives Niagara the perfect opportunity to continue in this game. So this is, I believe now, the closest game that Niagara has been a part of and could be on their way to the first map win of their season.
1915? Anybody hear a 1915? What? You hear that?
It's
I hear
possible.
Niagara.
I mean,
I hear Niagara winning 9 straight rounds in their T side. Because, by the way, they will get to start on the T side here on Overpass. Iona's not going to win this one. That's basically for sure. And Private Bean bought a UMP and full armor. I think there's been some miscommunication on this Iona side. Unfortunately, at least for me trying to prove a point, it's not going to matter. Pedroian Flux is dropped. Insanity now has an AK and armor, namely their iconic duo, and General Ken just got shot by his teammate in the back of the head. This guy cannot escape team damage, and, well, Fechner can't escape that Deagle headshot. This is a 3 If they win this round, I'm done. I just want to let you know right now, I'm never casting Counter-Strike for you guys again, because I will stay in the background very handedly. I would lose it. I'm just letting you know now.
good start, but my biggest concern is Insanity has that AK and armor. So he's got a lot of opportunity to pull off some of the multi-kills that we've seen before. General Ken, luckily, is holding that CT rotate. Going to take down Private Bean and make this a very difficult job for Insanity, who takes down his first, not his second. Niagara lives to see another round, going up 11-15.
After that, I'm sticking with my 1915 scoreline. Niagara is going to bring this back. They're going to 4-0 sweep Iona in both the final 4 rounds of regulation, in the first 4 rounds of the overtime half, and Connor forgot his op. You didn't need that one, my friend.
It's like rushing out the door in a movie, and it's like, oh, bye, Mom. It's like, wait, you only ate 1 bite of this waffle, but I have an entire spread for you. And they're like, oh, no, I forgot my shoes. It's happened. You can check.
Where did we go from waffles to shoes?
I don't know. I realized that I forgot what movie I was referencing, and then was like, well, you have to forget something. So here we are. Connor, however, with that newly found op, takes out Fechner, and now Swordbird and Flux all go down. General Ken able to come down, and this is just an absolute massacre for Niagara and their last attempt at winning this. And the flank is going to come in and create an impossible situation. And Private Bean will take the final kill with the ump, and Niagara, their best showing of the season, but still unfortunately coming up just short 11-16 in favor of Iona.
Hey, it's a decent finish for them. I'm not going to say it was great, but a 16-11 scoreline is their best showings thus far this season. That means they're making improvements, especially up against a team like Iona, who by no means are a bad squad. You said they had a -4 round differential, going 7-11 in maps. They're now up to 9-11 in maps, and alone they have now a +11 round differential. No, +12. Quick maths. But it's looking like Iona have a way to bring themselves back into this season as well. I have no reason to believe they can't make it up into the top 5, maybe 5, 6. Albeit there are only 9 teams. I'll give them that. But I think they're a top 5 team because you're looking at Marist College, Marquette, DePaul, and Colorado. Those, I think, are your clear top 4 favorites. After that, it's really a toss-up between the remaining 3, and then there's Niagara.
Could be. We'll see in the coming weeks. We got plenty of Counter-Strike coming up over the next several Fridays before we get into conference championships. So for the time being, we are going to take a quick break, bring in a member of the Iona team to hear more about the match from their perspective. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
No, I don't.
Our final segment of the day, and what a better way to start it off than with a T-posing Iona College Gale squad. All of them fully extended, and well, they fully extended themselves into a W here. I'm Time to Light. Down there's Viking, and this is Connor, along with Snavana, Bean, and whoever else is on the left side there of Connor. But Connor, I want to start things off saying congratulations on your win. I know it was a hard-fought victory, at least over on Overpass. I want to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I feel like we just got too overconfident from the going in from the first game, how we won by such a large number, how we just didn't expect them to play how they did, and they did much better in Overpass, so caught us off guard.
That is for sure. And one thing that we notice is a huge turning point, specifically you on the op. Is there a specific way that you came into this thinking about how you're going to play around this, or do you generally kind of look at it as we're going to see how it goes? We're going to build our strategy as we see what those defaults ultimately end up netting you.
Yeah, we have our default strategies and positions that we play, but it's mainly just going into it and seeing how the other team plays and adjusting to that.
And as we've talked about before in past interviews with you guys about sort of the different roles that all of you play. I think this round we had these both maps we've seen pretty good and all around performances from your teammates. Have you seen or have you coming into this split specifically, especially after week one, made any significant adjustments to any particular member's role or any just general strategy that you're trying to bring? Knowing that obviously we're coming towards the end of the split, or sorry, the season.
Yeah, we've actually struggled this game through having three of our starting players not being able to make it. So it was a last minute struggle to try to get people to fill in their roles. So it was difficult in trying to fill that up.
Yeah, I mean I've appreciated the highlights that we've seen there. Obviously, a lot of no scopes from you. Savannah has had a lot of multi kills, spray downs that have just been heard all over the place. So I really appreciate that. And great to talk to you.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
I know Tyler lives in New York, I think. Are you guys I'm assuming since you guys are over in that position, would you mind if I like sent Tyler over there and made sure to check your PC? Because after some of those shots, I was sitting there. I think you had the shot through the market or the apartment window back on Mirage.
Oh
You had
yeah.
like 3 or 4 no scopes that you
That's
had no
insane.
business hitting. I was just sitting there like I'm done. I literally
Mhm.
walked away from my computer at one point because I was shocked. You guys showed up when you needed to, and albeit RNG was on your side most of the time. But final question here: how do you feel going into the final, really 8 weeks? It's 11, 8 weeks of EGF because you guys coming into this week you were 7-11. You had that -4 round differential. Now you're up to 9-11, at least in terms of map. You're +12. You're looking strong throughout the rest of the season, but you really have to surpass USA and maybe the difference between Marquette or Marist to make it into that top 4.
Yeah. Yeah, we're feeling pretty confident going on from now on because we have more scheduled practice times and practicing every week and getting everyone together in order to become better as a team.
Well, it looks like you guys have
Yeah.
that team cohesion and the team chemistry with everybody jumping around for joy behind you and seemingly
Yeah.
on screen as well when you're hitting 360 no scopes, off cliffs, blind through a wall, you name it. Anyway, congratulations and good luck through the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Tyler,
#1, baby!
I I that's a PUBG reference if I've ever heard one. I think
Oh, absolutely.
that's the greatest outro to an interview we've had thus far. But unfortunately, that's going to do it for us. Tyler, before we send things off, do you have any final thoughts on this week of CSGO?
Always a pleasure. Great to see so much amazing matches. And if you're watching, certainly make sure you hit that follow button because we got lots of games coming up next week. FIFA on Mondays, Smash on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Rocket League, Overwatch on Thursday, and CSGO, of course, on Friday. And if you're a big fan of League of Legends, we've got Big East and Mac action happening tomorrow. So don't forget to tune in and tip your casters. Not me, just him. He's really pretty and, great at his job, obviously. But otherwise, it's been a genuine pleasure casting with Los, and now time to light over here. So I hope everybody has a great weekend.
Yeah, that's going to do it. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. But if you're looking for more EGF action, like that guy said, tomorrow is League of Legends. I'll be producing that one. You don't have to see my face. I don't understand what any of the champions do, other than, no, I don't understand them. But thank you ever so much for watching. We will see you next week. Bye bye.